Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class, in the chapter that is refraction of light, we were talking about concave lens. Concave lens is that lens which is also called as a diverging lens. And here in this concave lens, we have seen that what are the different rules that is necessary in order to obtain the images on the concave lens. There are basically three rules, students. The first rule is that when a ray of a light which is parallel to the principal axis get refracted through the concave lens or passes through the concave lens, it appears that after refraction it is coming through that of the focus of the lens. Sorry, this is the first case. Second thing is that when a ray of a light passes through the optical center, it seems that it passes through the optical center without showing any kind of a deflection. As we have seen this is the same case in the convex lens also, that when a ray of a light passes through the optical center, it passes it without showing any kind of a refraction. Third one is when a ray of a light which appears falling on that of the principal axis, on that of the principal focus, after refraction becomes parallel to the principal axis. So this is the third one, that ray of a light falls on the surface and after refraction passes through the principal focus. Becomes parallel to the principal axis. Then we have also seen that what will happen when we keep the object at different position, what kind of a image that we got it from it. So basically in case of a convex lens, we have seen the 6 conditions and we had kept the object at 6 different positions, and on the basis of that we have find the exact image of the lens. But here in this case it is not like that. There are only 2 cases as formed, student. The first case is when the object is kept between the optical center at infinity, and the second one is when the object is kept at infinity. It means at the first case, if the object is kept anywhere between the optical center and infinity, the image will be formed at the same position. What we have seen there, students, let me summarize you the position of the object, position of the image in case of a concave lens. So if this is the position of object, this is the position of image, then nature of image, finally size of image. These are the few things that we have seen yesterday. So the first case is that when we are keeping the object at here, that is between optical center and infinity. Between optical center and infinity. We are keeping the object between optical center and infinity. The position of the image will be between optical center and principal focus. Principal focus. Between optical center and principal focus. What kind of the nature of the image will be formed here? So nature of image will be virtual and erect. Size of the image, it will be diminished image. So diminished. The second case that we will see here, student, it is when the object is kept at infinity. So when we are keeping it at infinity, then the position of the image will be at focus. What will be the nature of the image? It will be virtual and erect. Finally, the size of the image will be highly diminished. size of the image will be highly diminished. So this is what these are the two different positions of the object when we will keep it in front of the concave lens, students. Now, how can you distinguish between concave lens, convex lens? So for that, distinguish between concave and convex lens. So obviously, student, how can you distinguish it? In case of a concave lens, suppose you have given a lens and now you have to check it whether it is a concave or convex lens. You just take that lens near to your book words and see it. If the words appear larger, then it will be a convex lens. If the words is appearing smaller, still diminished, then it is a concave lens. Why is it so, students? Suppose you had given a lens, a magnifying glass or a lens, simply because magnifying glass is made up of a convex lens only. So suppose you had given a convex lens, or if you had given any lens and you want to check it, you just take it to your book and see the words. When you take it very closely, actually you are decreasing the size of, decreasing the distance of the object from that of the optical center. It means now the object is kept between optical center to that of the focus. And because of this, the image formed, it will be diminished image. It will be an enlarged image because it is a virtual and erect image is formed and it will be highly enlarged image is formed. So that will help us in telling that the lens which we have taken is a convex lens. Now you have taken a lens and you are keeping it again near to that of the words and still you are finding that the words appear smaller. So this is a concave lens, that even though you are keeping it between optical center and focus, the image is still formed diminished. So this is the characteristic of a concave lens. So on the basis of that, we are able to distinguish between them. As well as if you touch it, then you will find that at the middle of the edge, it is thicker and edge it is thinner, so it will be a convex. And if it is middle in the thinner and middle portion is thin and thicker is the edge, then it will be a concave lens. Moving on, and we will see that what are the uses of the concave lens, students. Uses of concave lenses. So, first use is that this lens is used to correct the defect of myopia. So, concave lenses are used in spectacles to correct the defect of vision called myopia or short-sightedness okay, or short-sightedness. So concave lens used in spectacles to correct the defect of the vision, and that is myopia, and because of that it will be used in the short-sightedness. Second case is, that is concave lens is used as an eye lens in Galilean telescope. Concave lens is used as an eye lens in Galilean telescope. Galilean telescope. It is used as eye lens in Galilean telescope. Then concave lens is also used in spy hole, which is there on the doors. So it is used in wide. Used in wide angle, used in wide angle spy hole in doors. So concave lens, it is also used as wide angles in spy hole door. It is also used in optical instrument as it get combined with the other lenses in order to make the instrument. So concave lenses are used in combination with convex lens, to make high quality lens system. To make high quality lens system. This is what, student, this is the uses of the concave lenses. Okay, so it is used in the defect of the vision, that is myopia. It is also used as an eye lens in Galilean telescope. It is used as a wide angle spy hole in doors, as well as used in the combination in order to enhance the quality of the lens system, as well as help in making the optical instrument. So this is all about that of the concave lenses, students. Now, what kind of a question can be asked related to the concave lens? So basically, it depends upon the lens formula. So let us see that what kind of a sign convention are there in case of a concave lens. So, lens formula for concave lens. Okay, lens formula and magnification. So, lens formula is the same, student, 1 by V minus 1 by U is equals to 1 by F. Now, here in this case of a concave lens, since what are the things will be negative? So, since the object distance, because object is placed at the left side of the lens, that's why it is always taken as negative. So, it will always be minus U. Image distance. So, image distance, as you can see here that whatever the image is formed in case of a concave lens, both the cases it is formed at the left side, and that is why it is virtual and erect. So, image will also be always negative. Focal length, obviously the focus is a virtual focus, so in case of a concave lens the focus is also taken as negative. That will also be minus F. Okay, so in case of a concave lens, U will be negative, V will be negative, and F will always be negative. Reason is, students, because object is kept at left side, image is formed at left side, and the focal length is also at the left side. It is also measured from the left side. Okay, so now let us see some of the questions. Magnification formula, student, it is same, and that is image distance upon object distance, as well as height of the image upon height of the object. Now let us try to understand with the help of the formula, and then we will move to the next and the last topic, and that is power of lens. Question is, an object placed at a distance of 50 centimeter from a concave lens of focal length 20 centimeter. Focal length 20 centimeter. Find the nature and position of the image. Find the nature and position of image. Find the nature and position of image. So, you see, what are the things which is given here? So, here, object is placed at a distance of 50 centimeter. So, object distance is given, student, u is given, and since it is a concave lens or a convex lens, even both of the cases, u will always take it as negative. So, it will be minus 50 centimeter. From a concave lens of focal length 20 centimeter. So, focal length is given minus 20 centimeter, and the reason is since the focal length is of virtual focus of a concave lens. What we have to find? We have to find the image distance, that is v. Formula is 1 by v minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by f. Now here, in case of 1 by v, students, 1 by v, this will also become this 1 by minus 1 by u will goes to this direction, it will become 1 by f plus 1 by u. Now, this can also be written as, I am writing here, 1 by v is equals to 1 by f. 1 by f is 1 by minus 20, and this is plus 1 by minus 50. Okay. Or we can write it 1 by v is equals to, this will be equals to minus 1 by 20 minus 1 by 50. Now, it will become this will become, here we can write it 1 by v is equals to, we will take an LCM of this and it will become 100, and here when you divide it with this, it will become minus 5 minus 2, minus 5 minus 2, and that will be equals to minus plus 5 plus 2 7, but sign will be there, that is minus 7 upon 100. Okay. We can also write it as v will be equals to minus 100 upon 7, or v will be equals to minus 14.3 centimeter. Minus 14.3 centimeter. Okay. So, this is about that how if the image position we have to find, then how can we find the position of the image here, students. Okay. Moving on, and let us see another one, and that is power of lens. Last topic. Power of lens. So question is, power of a lens is there, students. So what is power of lens, student? Basically, power, it states that what is the power of the lens? It means it is basically we measure the power of lens on the basis of the convergence and divergence. The more rays will converge, the power of will be more, and if more diverge, then the power will be the more only. If the convergence is less, power will be less. If divergence is less, the power will be less. So we can say that the power of a lens is a measure of the degree of convergence and divergence of light rays. Falling on it. Okay, so it is measure of convergence and divergence. The more it will diverge, the more will be the power. The more it will converge, more will be the power. Now the converging and diverging, what it will help? It will help in finding the focus. So that will help in telling the distance from the optical center, that is focal length. So we can say here that the power of the lens is depends upon the focal length of the lens. How? So we can write it here that power will be inversely proportional to the focal length of the lens. So power of a lens is equals to 1 by focal length of the lens. 1 by focal length of lens. 1 by focal length of lens. Power of a lens. Okay, 1 by focal length of lens to this. So how can we write it here? The power of lenses. So it can be written as P is equals to 1 by F. P is equals to 1 by F. Okay. P is equals to power of lens and F is the focal length of the lens. So if by this we have understood, and if the focal length is less, P will be more. Focal length is less, P will be more. If P is less, focal length will be more. If P is less, focal length will be more too. Okay. So power of the lens, it will be reciprocal. If it is more, this will be less. If this is more, then it will be less. Like that, we can find the power of the lens. Now, how can we find? What is the unit of the power of the lens, student? So it is basically measured in diopter, which is represented by capital D. So the unit of power of lens is diopter. Unit of power of lens is diopter, represented by D. D, which is represented by capital D. 1 diopter is the power of one diopter means whose focal length is 1 diopter of a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Whose focal length is 1 meter. So if the power of the lens is positive, then it is convex lens. Here one more thing I should add, that is, if the power of the lens is positive, then convex lens, it is convex lens. And if the power of the lens is negative, then concave lens. Then it is concave lens. Okay. So if it is positive, then convex lens, and if it is negative, then concave lens. Reason is because the focal length of the convex lens is positive and focal length of the concave lens is negative, and that is why it is power of the lens is also positive and negative respectively. So this is about, so if you will say that the power of a lens of a particular lens is plus 2.4D, then this is, we are talking about the convex lens. And if power is equal to minus 1.4D, so this we are talking about the concave lens. Okay, so this is how we can measure the power of lens. Now here one more thing is there, student, and that is the combination of the lenses, combination of power of lenses. So suppose if one lens is there, one lens is there, then P is equals to 1 by F. We can find the power. If a lot of lenses are there, then power will be equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4. It means we are combining, we will add the power of each of the lenses. So suppose if a lens is there, student, that is concave lens, and here with this another lens is attached, that is a convex lens, or if two lenses are attached together, that is both of them are the convex lens. So at first we should know the power of this one, power of these two, and finally the power of this both of the lenses, combination of the lenses will be equals to P. Okay, so simply we will add the power of each of the lenses and we will get the value of the total power of the lens. Now, if we are not knowing exactly the value of the power lens, but we are knowing the focal length. So if two lenses are there, so two lenses is equals to P1 plus P2, right? And we are not knowing the power of each of the lenses, but we are knowing the focal length of the lenses. So how could we find the power? So we know that since we are knowing that power is equals to 1 by F. So for P1 is equals to, it will be 1 by F1. And for P2, it will be 1 by F2. So ultimately here power will become 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. Okay. So this is how we will get the value of the power of lens. Okay. So now suppose if the focal length of the both of them is given as 1 by F. So 1 by F is equals to 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. This is also a kind of a formula with the help of which we are able to get the value of the combination of the power of lenses. Combination of the lenses. Okay. So if suppose students, a lens is there and whose power is given, that is 1 P1 is given, that is plus 3.5 diopter, and P2 is given, that is minus 1.4 diopter or minus 4.4 diopter. Then what will be the power of lenses? P will be equals to P1 plus P2, and this will be equals to 3.5 plus 3.5 plus minus 4.4, and finally we will subtract it, answer will come in minus, so it will be minus 1.4 it will be minus 0.9 diopter. So this is how we will find the value of the combination of lenses.